Welcome to the Student Suggestion Series, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about making course requirements so it's easier for your students to follow along in their Canvas courses. Here we are in my dashboard, and I'm going to pick one of my classes. Okay, right here it goes directly to my modules, and I want to click Student View to show you before we get started. Okay, if you've already watched my tweaking course navigation, you know why I don't have a whole bunch of things here, but we can kind of see here are things that I'm hoping students do during this module week. Let's go back. We're going to leave Student View. It already looks pretty good, but we can step it up a notch. So let me show you how. Once we leave Student View, in the module, you can actually edit it. And you go to your skinny snowman, you click edit. And that's where we add requirements. And requirements are basically anything that you want students to do under all circumstances, okay? So my module's already been built. I'm going to go ahead and add my requirements. And so here in this drop-down box, it gives me everything I've already created in that module. Now I've already done the hard part. I've put the stuff in and I've thought about the order I want it to be. Okay, so the first thing in my module is that. Now it is, let me go back and see. Okay, so it is an assignment for the video series. So now that I've selected that, we can choose from a list. We can say you've completed your requirement if you have viewed the item, if you've marked it as done, submitted the assignment, or here's a big one, scored at least a something percent. Okay, I just want, once they've submitted, I want that to be, there we go. Now I'm going to add another requirement, and so the next one, I just kind of go down the list, and I just want them to mark it as done. Okay, let's add a few more. And you know what? I'm gonna do that, and I want it to view the item. And one more. Let's maybe add this discussion. Okay. And let's say submit the assignment. Now I could go on, but for the sake of this video, I am not going to do it. And I'm going to say update module. Now, requirements have changed for an active course. They're kind of telling me, hey lady, don't be changing things on kids in the middle. It's really okay. We can continue. Okay. Now let's go back to this student view. And we can see these bubbles have now popped up. Okay, and once I I'm going to submit my assignment. Hold on, come on. Here we go. Because you don't get lost. That's why it's important. I'm sure they will do much better responses. And then I hit submit assignment. Okay, I got the confetti because I did it on time and it was submitted. Now, if I were a student, I could just click next. Okay, and I'm just going to mark it as done. And I like nachos. I know that's not a very helpful comment, but we're just going to post a reply. All right. So I could go next, 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 and keep going to all the other things. Okay. Now what has happened is I've gone in, I've submitted some, I skipped over one. So I'm back in student view and I see the modules and I can actually see where I have been and what I've already accomplished. If I hadn't done something, I'd have a little minus sign. One thing I can also do, which I didn't for this exercise, but I kind of want to point it out. So let's go ahead and leave student view. I can go in and I can edit the module. And so here are all these requirements, right? But I could have said students must move through requirements in sequential order. Let's add a few more requirements. Let's do that, and then add one more requirement, and we'll add the last thing. Okay, so I just want them to let's say submit the assignment, and I want them to submit the assignment. I don't even really remember what they are. Okay, so now because I have highlighted this or checked this box, they have to go through sequential order. So let's find out what that looks like. I'm going to update. It's changed. I get it. I get it. Okay, let's go to student view. So, all right. This has a checkbox because I hadn't already checked it. But what this basically means is I didn't do this, so I can't do anything else. And that's why those are all grayed out. This is great for a lot of classes, but especially maybe your math classes where skills are scaffolded. You know, I have to give a big shout out to Emily Chandler and Norm. Their students said this is a game changer, and they said if there's anything you can do, will you please let the other teachers know that this is awesome. It helps me stay on track. So let's go in here. So that they put it on my radar. Okay, we're going to mark it as done, and we're going to say next. Okay, and we say next. Next. And next. Okay. So let's go back to our module and see where we are. Now we can see that we've added a few check marks. Some of these I did not make as requirements, and that's the reason why we don't have circles there, just for the sake of time. But if I would have kept going, I could have done these requirements as well. So you're really just going to have to consider, are requirements good things for your students? I think generally speaking, yeah, they are. The other question is, do you want to make everything requirements? And there are pros and cons for that. And finally, you're going to want to consider if you want to build on things that were previously. That method doesn't work for all teachers, so that's the last thing you're going to want to take into account. Okay, I hope requirements will help you and your students in the future. Take care.